Hey, what it is? This your girl 3D Natty, and you're listening to Day One Radio. Pay attention.
The business.
Welcome back to another episode, another installment of Day One Radio, right here on ablradio.com. That's Art Beats and Lyrics Radio to be exact. Make sure you download the very free, very accessible smartphone app for your iPhone and your Android devices. And B, tell them where they can find the whole Day One Radio catalog at.
You can always find us on day1radio.com, iTunes, SoundCloud, Spreaker, and anywhere else you can get podcasts. We will be there. And man, what's good, man? We in the midst of one of the most hectic weeks. A3C gets a little crazy around Atlanta during that time, man. Everything been going good?
Bro, I done pulled so many audibles today. Feel like I got down
man.
Tim Tebow out of this bitch, bro.
Who are you telling, bro? Shout out to Monster who sponsored them, but I had one. I'll never drink one of them shits again. I was up all day and all night, couldn't go to sleep, woke up early, just been grinding.
Shit, Monster might cut the check, bro. You can't talk bad about them like that, man.
They can, we can make people sell it, buy it. I ain't got to drink it, shit. Like, it's what it is. Well, yeah, man, so everything's been good, man. We getting a lot of good content for y'all this week, so make sure y'all look out on all our, different social media and whatnot, where you can always find us at Day One Radio, and that's DAY, the number one, and radio. And, man, we've been doing this for we're bugging. This is how busy we've been. This week, we have been doing this shit for 3 years. Normally, we have a party. Ain't nobody throw no party. We just been out here grinding. But I will have to say, man, like, the guest we have today is somebody that we most definitely talked about within the first 3-4 months of having on the show. Both of us are fans of hers. We were in New Orleans when we did Rich Medina. We was trying to get her in. It didn't work out. Ran into her at the BET Hip Hop Awards. Our folks, Kelly, was like, hey, man, when she in Atlanta, we going to make it happen. And as a woman of her word, we made that thing happen. So welcome to Day One Radio, Miss 3D Natty.
What's up? I'm in the building. It's only right 3 years. 3D Natty.
There you go. It's synergy.
Third wall.
She made us wait.
Holy Trinity.
It was like the numbers ain't right. We gotta wait until 3 years. Yeah, man. So, man, welcome, man.
Thank you for having me.
I gotta tell you, like, I am one of those people that I think there's been so many terrible artists that come out or artists that just ain't for me that you kind of have to penetrate my circle from my friends for me to listen to something that I'm not really into. And somehow, I don't even remember why. I think it might have been Beat Out from Rap Radar was like, yo, you need to check out this video. And I watched the video for Dear Father, and I was like, yo. I was like, I am impressed. And I literally told damn near everybody I knew, like, yo, you need to check her out. Like, she is fucking raw.
That's
like,
dope.
I had never heard of you before at that moment. But I was like, I've been a fan ever since. And it's ill to me, like, that you are so transparent with your music. Like, is it like therapy to you to talk about this stuff, or are you just like an honest person?
For the record, you
up?
might want to break down what the song was about, because some folks may not have heard it.
I mean, it's to me, it was like it's very much different entertainment from that, because it's a real life situation. She's talking about her father, and if you follow her, her parents dealt with substance abuse. Father committed suicide, but the video is like she's rapping at a table, and you can't tell who she's talking to, and at the end, you find out she's talking to her father that is no longer here. I was like, yo, as somebody who grew up with my father and mother, I was like, shit. This is powerful, like extremely powerful. But yeah, like, so to be just that honest with your records and like honest on all levels, just on how you feel, like, is it therapy for you, or is that just who you are? Like, you just tell it like it is.
It is. I mean, as far as the therapy part, because I started out making music just for me. I didn't think I would be a rapper. I didn't think I would do anything concerning music when I first started writing. And these were just like poems or just, just things I would write down because I had friends and cousins and family, but there were things and feelings that I had about, growing up, the things that I've seen, the things that I've experienced that I didn't feel it was quote unquote cool to talk about or to express or address or talk about how it affected me. But I would just write these things down, which later became songs. So I always do that now. I think it just became a habit because when I started to share these things with friends and family, they was like, you got something here. So I didn't start out just to make music. I started out to vent. This was just a way for me to vent. And that's why the songs are so potent now, or, they're so personal.
Yeah.
Because I make them for me. I make shit just to get it off my chest or say what I feel,
I know you gotta have like your DMs and just ads gotta be crazy with people being like, man, this helped me through this period, or you got me through whatever.
Yeah, and that's incredible. Like that's the best feeling because I didn't expect it. I still don't expect to get that when I make music. I just want to put it out. So there was, man, I get people talking about, there was this one guy, he was saying that he was considering suicide at one point, and it was just really, really deep. I won't get into all of it, but it was just so deep that I didn't even realize that side of it. I only was speaking from, a hurt young girl, because it's like, once my father committed suicide, it's kind of like my growth was stunted a bit. You know what I'm saying? Just as far as a young black woman. So certain emotions still that young girl who lost her father. Wow. So I just was speaking from that side. And when I hear the stories like the guy, it's wild to me because I wasn't speaking from that point.
Right. And it's like, with that, you're getting it off your chest as a person first. Then, you're transitioning into creating as an artist. And then it's like out of nowhere, folks are kind of hitting you up like, yeah, you my psychiatrist now. I need to talk to you about this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Which is the weirdest because I think, I can easily express myself in a song. People, it's always kind of weird because I think I'm a more reserved person than people would think I am because of my music. I'm easier to, it's easier for me to just rap and express my feelings, but, communicating or telling you straight up how I feel is kind of hard for me because, I'm kind of an introvert when it comes to that type of shit.
Like being an introvert though, man, it's like, was it difficult for you to, or is it still difficult for you to kind of get out of that shell in a time where, you got to have the highest profile possible, what I'm saying, as an artist? It's still
that part right
you
there.
Ain't with it.
That point, matter of fact, I'm in here with some house slippers on, some shades on, because I ain't feel like going to get my makeup done and none of that shit. So I don't care about that part of it. I know that it's very important, and I'm grateful and blessed to be able to move the way that I move independently, and I don't have a boss, and there's no one telling me that I have to do things a certain way, but there's people that are gravitating towards my music that make me feel like I'm doing it the right way, and it feels damn good. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard because I know that you got to be on, you have to be this or you have to be that, and I'm just being me, and it's working for me.
And it's interesting you brought up the whole independence thing because you had a gang of labels getting at you for a while, and then you signed a deal with Universal in 2014, and I felt like it was like you signed the deal and I was seeing you everywhere, and then you signed the deal and it was like, what the hell, is that really how it was, or was that just my perception? Or
I'll tell you this, that's really how it was. That's definitely how it felt. And that situation right there was a little bit more, it was kind of a crazy one because I didn't sign a traditional deal. The deal that I signed was with Russell Simmons and Steve Rifkin, and they have a company called All Def Digital.
Right.
So what they were doing was finding not just music talent, but they were finding, guys like King Karan guys like comedians and actresses and anybody that they saw that had a buzz online, and they started to license their content for their, their page.
Digital, right.
It was kind of different. So what I started to do was you saw me everywhere because I was releasing my own stuff, just putting it out. But now when you have these guys who have first dibs on your shit, they want to see what you put out because they want to license it. Then now I'm holding my best shit and I'm holding it back, that type of thing. So that's what happened with that situation, and that's why you may have seen like a little stop there, because I was sitting on a regime for a minute, which is my new project that I just dropped.
Right, of course. So I mean, do you regret signing the deal, or was it just like a learning experience?
Absolutely not, man. I do not regret signing that deal at all, because first of all, I was able to get out of that situation unscathed. I feel like attaching myself to those guys who I still have a great relationship with to this day.
That's what's up.
They were able to put some money in my pocket that I don't have to pay back. It was not in advance. You know what I'm saying? So I'm able to move around off of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to, what you see with the regime, and I just brought me a big 9-passenger van. I'm riding around the United States in it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was able to do a lot of things with that money, and I thought it was more like a investment. Sort of like if you go on a Shark Tank or something. That's what I felt like it was. It was an investment in my startup.
So like the last 2 years, was it a thing of where, you was like figuring that shit out and how to get out of it? Was it a time where you was like creating? Because you said, you were sitting on the regime for a minute. But like if you go back and look at your discography, you're like, oh man, that Coronation was the shit, bro. And then, it's like, damn, 4 years don't pass, bro.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, well, I still was releasing stuff. I released a lot of videos during that time too. And what I also did, I have an app, my mobile app.
Yeah.
That was not a part of the deal. So I was still able to put out stuff on the app where I put out Who Can We Run To, which is a video that got over 19 million views. Went viral online and everything, and I did tours overseas and sold out tours, first time going overseas, all that type of stuff. So I was still able to move, still able to sell my app, still able to do a lot of things, but I just didn't want to put out a full project because I was like, okay, how is this supposed to go? Is it supposed to go out with them? And 4 years had passed,
Yeah, so the regime, man, like how did it feel when you finally released this project?
Man, I'm so happy that the regime is out right now. Just putting it out, it was very therapeutic for me, because I talk about so many things that went on in those 4 years, so I touched a lot of things, and I'm just so proud of it. I'm very proud of that project.
Now, was the regime the original thing when you say we sitting on it? Was it 20 plus songs at that point? Or
No.
was this like, I'm adding
Absolutely.
this, I'm adding this, I'm adding this?
I was adding and subtracting records.
Okay.
I'm one of those type of artists, like, you can't just put me in the studio and say, hey, you got a month to record an album, because I kind of I go through these little moods. So, I might feel a certain way and make 4, 5, 6 records about the same shit. Just because that's whatever affects me. I'm very affected by whatever goes on in my day. Unfortunately, as a rapper, you however you feel, whatever you feel, your emotions, that affects your music. If you let it affect your music, some of the other rappers, they just go in there and drink some lean or whatever, and they just say whatever they want. My music is affected by my emotions. So I might go through a little spurt where I feel a certain way and I'm rapping about the same shit. And I had to live through some things so I can pick the best records, So that's what happened with that.
That's how the best music get made. You know what I'm saying? Because, not to knock the cats that can go in there and just rattle off song after song about song and song and song and song. But it's like when you actually do live through life and you have something to say about it, that's how the best shit come out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
100%. And I know it had to be some times you went in the studio and you was just in a I don't give a fuck mood because you say you got some lines on there, some punchlines.
Yeah.
I'll be like, ooh, do people come up to you and say anything like, yo, did you really have to come at me like that?
You know what was crazy? The first time, like, for the cipher, for the BET cipher.
Yeah.
There was a line in there. I said, I ball out like OG Mako.
Yeah.
He responded and
I
said,
saw that.
Yeah. So, sometimes I get the, she's dissing or she's whatever, and it's never a diss. I'm never saying anything that isn't true. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really consider that a diss. I'm saying I don't.
That was such a woman answer.
I'm saying, why you say that? Why you say that?
Because hey, it's not a diss. It's like, hey, I just said you dress like Magic Johnson's son, but
I don't think
you do.
It
ain't a diss.
If you do,
like,
it's the truth.
You must like it. Hilarious. I literally on that song like turned off my car stereo. I was like, yo, come on. It was just bar after bar after bar after bar.
Right.
But I think what's dope about the album is, a lot of times when rappers can really rap, that's what they do. From the intro to the outro.
Right.
It's just da 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 da. But you have concepts and songs like the Maria joint and stuff like that, and the Lauryn Hill joint, which is like, I felt like you gave us a complete album, which is what your fans have been waiting on for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, that was the main objective, just to put out a complete body of work.
So like going into it, because I saw the description of it. It was like it's Reasonable Doubt meets Miseducation of Lauryn Hill meets hardcore meets All Eyes on Me, and sometimes you see those kind of descriptions, you be like, I mean, that shit might be cool, brother. Goddamn, you know what I'm saying?
Written from the perspective of a Southern rap female, a female from the South.
So it's like, did you have that mindset going into it, or was it a thing where it's like if you got done with it, you're like, you know what? This shit sounds like da 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 da.
It was absolutely after I got done with it. I didn't go into it saying I'm gonna try to do this or that. I just was making records because, like I said, I had a period of time that I was just making records. So after I heard it and put it all together, I'm like, damn, this is sounding, it's exceeded what I wanted to sound like. So, I was just hoping that people get it, and they do.
It's a spot on description. Like, it lived up to that title. I was like, God damn, she did it, Shawty.
No doubt. I think one of the songs that people talk about a lot is the Miseducation of 3D Not T. Speak just a little bit on because now we in a phase where everybody is like, man, Lauryn Hill keep missing shows. She come out here, don't perform them right. Yeah. And this is more so like, yo, I really, you was my girl, and I've heard you talk about it in interviews before. So like, what was her music's like influence on you?
I mean, I can't even express how much I was influenced by the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, or even the score or the Fugees album. Like, I just was I was her biggest fan. It was just crazy. I felt like that album basically raised me. It got me through a lot just listening to it. Other albums as well. Like Erykah Badu's project. Foxy Brown, things like that. But Lauryn Hill, I think she just was very, very personal with her stuff. And it just hit home because a lot of the things that I would hear her sing about or talk about, even when we got to the Unplugged album and stuff like that, that's things that I gradually got to know myself too. You know what I'm saying? Right. So Lauryn Hill, I just think she's an amazing artist. And that song was basically because a lot of times we hear when an icon passes, we hear everybody, oh, he was so great. We saw it happen with Prince. We saw it happen with Michael Jackson. We saw it happen with Whitney Houston. And before that, they were dragging for these people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? They were dragging their names through the mud. The same way I feel like they do about her coming late. I understand that. But I'm a firm believer in giving somebody their flowers while they're here. And just like you said, I'll say whatever is on my mind when it comes to something I don't like. I say whatever on my mind when it comes to something that I do like as well.
Most definitely. So it's interesting you said that, and just how do you feel? Because you're in that in between age of like the millennials and then the older people to be hating on the millennials and all of that. So do you feel like we're gonna have that? Like it'll be people like 5-10 years from now, like, man, you know, that Purple Sprite sure did that. I remember that period in my life, or that whatever. Like it seems like you have like 4 or 5 albums that people like this new Solange album, or I can see people saying that about Cole or K-Dot or whatever, or even this album, The Regime. But do you feel like we're going to have that? Because I know for sure I have albums like, yo, when I listen to that, it takes me back to that period. I don't really see.
Well, you know what? The ones that weren't good to you, you don't remember. But the ones that were good to you, you do remember. Some shit of today's time, you're not going to remember. You're not going to care about. But you will remember the J. Cole's, the Kendricks, you know. So I absolutely do believe that we'll have that, you know. All that other shit, you're not gonna care about.
No, like what y'all talking about kind of reminds me of a conversation I just saw with Carl Kanai. And like somebody was asking him like, yo, so why is it that Polo stays in style, but you know this clothing line goes and comes and this one goes away? It's like maybe that shit wasn't dope to begin with when you was wearing it,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like that's why you know a Polo or whatever can stick around, because like it's always kind of been dope. Some of that shit was just ugly you was wearing back in 93, bro.
True.
That's why it's gone.
Yeah. You definitely got a point with that. You brought up the app earlier, and that's something that a lot of, you know.
Available for 99 cents, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can get my whole catalog as well as all of my videos, as well as all kind of exclusive content. And every month I give out free items, whatever, you know, give out the Regime. I give out hoodies, sweatshirts, tickets if I'm in your city, because I reward the users for listening to it. So you listen to a song, you play a video, you get user points. The person who has the most user points at the end of the month gets whatever I'm giving out that month.
And it's interesting that, and I was going to ask, because that's not a common thing.
I'm not
in
a common
music,
girl.
period,
or
even in hip hop. But what made you go that route? Because honestly, the only person I can think of in urban music, other person that kind of pushes the line like that, is Ryan Leslie.
Exactly.
True.
Yeah.
So what made you go that route?
Superphone.
I love Ryan Leslie too. You know, his business sense.
Yeah.
But I did it because I think all the time. You know, I just think of ways that I can connect with the people that listen to me. I don't care about the suits. I don't care about the pencil pushers, the ones who are counting the numbers, the stats and all of that. I don't care about them. I care about the people who hit me in my DM or in my comments telling me how much my project means to them or how much my songs mean to them. I care about them. So when I was thinking about doing the app, I'm like, okay, how can I put something out? I'm able to monetize it at the same time, but I'm able to give them access to everything I put out. Whenever I want to do it, I have 100% control of this. And, you know, I thought of the app. Right. Instead of just putting something on SoundCloud or, you know, YouTube, I wanted to have this place because just like when there was MySpace or any other social media platform, when that wave is gone, it's gone. You lose all those friends. Your top 8, you probably don't even know where your top 8 now. Yeah. But this is not T-Land. This is 3D not T-Land. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the app is about.
I'm about to buy that shit right now, Sean.
You should. Go ahead. right now.
Get you a free sweatshirt or something. You never know.
There.
Listen to enough
right
stuff.
Now.
Off top. How do you take it when somebody says, yo, she's a dope female rapper?
I used to care, but I don't care as much. If you look at some of my videos, you can see that I used to care, but I don't care as much. When people say I'm a dope female rapper, it's cool. I hope they're saying it now just because I am a female. I'm a female rapper, and I'm dope. I take it like that now. At first, I know how some of them may mean it. We want to put her in that category. She's one of the best female rappers. My nigga. You know, I could go toe-to-toe with some of the best of them.
Yeah.
If not all of the best of them. You know what I'm saying? So I just know that in my mind, so I don't really focus on when people try to pigeonhole me or say that or put that label on me.
Got you. From your perspective, because you are an artist, you are in the same marketplace with all of the rest of these cats that's rapping. To me, as somebody who's covered this culture for a long time, I feel like we have an unwritten rule that there can only be one woman in the spotlight at a time.
I feel like that too. I feel like that's what the media has created. Yeah, so I mean, I can't disagree with that.
Why do you think that is? Like,
I don't know, man. You are a part of the media. You tell me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why do you do that shit, Brandon?
Hey, man, I didn't do it. Don't put it on me.
I mean, hip hop is and always has been a sausage fest. Yeah. You know, it always has been. And I think when the men, the ones that are respected, they put their stamp on something. Most of the times, they're not even putting their stamp on a female rapper because she's great or dope. They're putting it because they want a female counterpart. Because they want to corner this market right here. We get a chick, you know, we corner this market. They're not looking at the lyricism, and I think that's the reason why you don't see as many. You hardly ever. I don't think there was a point when there was like more than one female on a prominent label, because they're not doing it because they're dope. If they was doing it because they're dope, if they were signing female artists because they're dope, wouldn't you think they might find 2 or 3 dope ones?
Yeah.
4 or 5, just like they have 2, 3,
see,
4, 5
do.
males?
Yeah.
No, because they're thinking female, whatever, female plus this type of song plus this type of dress and attitude equals that market cornered. So we don't give a shit. We just need one. That's all we need. They're not paying attention to what this girl is saying. They're not paying attention to, you know, what she's promoting or her lifestyle. They just want to corner that market because they think all chicks are the same. And that's what I feel, you know.
That's crazy. And the other thing, I think piggybacking off of that to me is and I hate this, but I don't see a lot of women that rap collaborating together as often as it should happen.
Right.
Like, I would love to hear you and Rhapsody on a song together. Mm-hmm, you know what I mean? Like, I think that would be dope as fuck. I would love to, even back in the day, like, how come we never got a Rage and Raw Digga song? Like, that shit would have been dope as hell. You know what I mean? Like, and it confused me. Like, why doesn't that happen?
I mean, it happens, but why isn't the light on those, you know? Like, say, for instance, I did records with Trina. Right. I did records with Mia X. I just did a record with Babs. She's dropping some stuff in. Babs is doing the whole Queen of the Ring thing. She's putting a lot of dope female battle rappers on. You know, so I thought it was very important because Babs spit too. So I thought it was very important to, you know, kill that. I did stuff with Lola Monroe. You know, so people don't say that. They only highlight when I say a certain bar that might make them feel like, oh, we can make this happen. She's talking about this one.
Right.
But I talk about dope female rappers all the time. I just met Miss Jade, who is one of the nicest to me, period. You know what I'm saying? So, and me and her were talking about doing records, but, you know, people don't, they rather hear you be catty than to hear you, you know, be a collective.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah.
Type situation. Yeah, that's unfortunate, man. You did bring up earlier, which I thought was super crazy, that you did your first European tour and the shows were sold out.
Sold out, yep.
So, and this was last year, so this is even before Regime dropped. Did that like give you like a boost? Like, yo, these people really fuck with me out here.
I was scared as shit going out there, you know, because I didn't know what to expect. First of all, I had to rush, and this was when I went to Sweden. I went to Sweden first. That was the first show that I did out there. And then a year later, which was last year, is when we did the tour. And we went to Paris, Germany, London, and somewhere else, I forget right now. But we went to different places, and I didn't know what to expect at all. I've never been there, you know. So I got there, and they're rapping it. I got footage and did a whole little documentary on it. And it was just exciting to see. Sometimes you need that confidence. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need to know, take a step back and say, damn, they fuck with me here, then I have to go on. You know, when you're not getting the love in your city, or when you're not getting the love from your friends or family. And I'm not saying that I don't, but, you know, sometimes you need that to go somewhere else and feel love. Like, okay, shit, you know, I'm doing it right.
You know what I'm saying? So speaking of home, like you came up in Third Ward.
In the Third Ward, yeah.
No, what was that like? Cause like, you know, so many times as an outsider, you know, you listen to certain, you know, artists from New Orleans, you know, they shout out their wards, and you think you have an idea of what it's like. And like, okay, Ninth Ward is different from Third Ward, and Uptown is different from this, but you really don't know until you get there. You know what I'm saying? So like, what was your experience like, you know, growing up in the Third?
Growing up in New Orleans, period, it's different. I feel like it's just a different place, and it's kind of cliche to say, because everybody say this, we're like our own. It's like a country within a country, but I really feel like New Orleans.
No, it is.
I'm like, oh shit.
No, it
I don't
is.
know how to take that.
Other than I'm from Oakland, so I, you know, obviously I love home, but like outside of Oakland, like New Orleans is probably my favorite city in America, because it's one of the few places that's actually maintained its culture. Like I travel a lot and around the world, and it's like I hate going places and I see the same shit there as I see here, as I see here, as I see here. Like, I love the fact that I can go and eat somewhere in New Orleans that's been there for 100 years.
Yeah,
man.
A lot of customs, a lot of, you know, a lot of things that we just, the tradition, you know, we hold that true to us, you know, just considering the fact that Katrina happened, and even before, you know, with gentrification and a lot of things that go on, and they're trying to pull that away from us. But New Orleans people, very, very passionate, very, very resilient. You know, we came back harder than ever. We came back still with the second lines and the DJs, bounce music, and look, you hear the word twerking coming out of Miley Cyrus' mouth. You know, that originated in New Orleans because we hold on to shit that's dear to us, because all we have is memories there. At any moment, we know we can lose all our shit. You know, so we have to.
Right.
Niggas laughing.
That's real. No, that's real though.
But nah, man, it's like for real. Like at any moment, so we definitely just hold true to our things. It's funny, man. You can laugh.
Oh no, because like okay, as you're talking, I'm still thinking about like the last time I was there, and I was like, it was probably like the first time I actually like sat back and noticed. I was like, I don't see any new buildings out this motherfucker. I don't see any new houses, you know, and not in a bad way, like, oh, they need to fix this shit up. It's just like, wow, it looks like this house has been here for a long time.
Now there is. You go to the Ninth Ward.
Oh, that's super different.
Yeah. So, you know, Brad Pitt built a whole bunch of houses there. You know, and then I say you go to Canal Street. They have palm trees and all of that type of shit on Canal Street. It's like, you know.
That is very different. I did notice that last time we was out there, too.
And they be yelling.
And what's crazy is where I grew up, on Delachey Street, Parkway. You can stand right there on Claiborne and Delachey. You can literally see the Superdome. You can literally see the place where all the tourists go. Right. They don't make it down they don't come down to our side.
But that's
you know
the real New Orleans, though.
That's the real New Orleans.
Yeah, you know, man.
That's the real New Orleans.
I always tell people, you got to have somebody that's from there take you around to really see what it is. Because if you spend all your time in the French Quarter, like, it's cool, but it ain't. It ain't the real deal. Like, it's set up for tourists, 100%.
Right. And they're doing it more. And what they're doing is kind of expanding that. Mm-hmm. So now, you know, where I tell you in the Third Ward, they're buying up the houses around there. So that little section is kind of getting bigger. Right. When I talk about gentrification, so it's kind of moving outward now. Because
they're pricing native people out.
Yeah, my auntie. I think my auntie. She live uptown. When she bought her house, I forgot how much she said it was when she bought it in like 88. Now she's the last black owner in her neighborhood. And I think she said she paid like, I want to say 50 to 80,000 or something like that for it, right? Now she said they're offering, she got a letter in her mailbox. They offer her $400 and some odd $1,000 for her house. She has the biggest lot on the block, and she's holding on to it, even though she may want the money. Yeah, but like,
where are you gonna go?
Come on, man. You know.
Yeah, it's like my it's the same thing. My grandparents, they was like, that entire block was black. Right. Damn near the whole neighborhood was black. I went to elementary school over there for like 3 years, and I recall like 1 or 2 white people in that school, period.
Right.
And now they are one of 3 black families on the block. The last house that sold on the block went for damn near $800,000. And it's like, it's a decent neighborhood. Like, it ain't a hood, but I'm like, that's crazy. It's a house in North Oakland. Like, you can buy a fucking mansion in Atlanta for $800,000.
Right.
Like, it's crazy. But yeah, how do you, like, obviously it's crazy to see your city change.
It is.
But I'm sure there are some positive changes. And then it's like some of that wanting to hold on to what the city's always been about at the same time. So, like, how do you kind of manage that as a native? Like, I'm sure it's like, damn, I like these nice things, but I sure do wish they was here when my neighborhood, the people I grew up with, was in the neighborhood and not all these new folks.
I mean, you just, like I said, just the memories, the traditions, some things are going to change. Embrace the good changes, and just remember the things that are changing that you cannot help. We can't bitch and moan about it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm still dealing with that. I might have to get back with you.
No doubt. So, I mean, are we going to get a tour to support the project? You going on the road? What's up?
You are. And actually right now, me and Kid, we're putting together a tour. Kid is, a New Orleans native who's now with G Unit. Yeah. Real good guy. And he asked me to come out with him on his tour. So we're going to do it together. We're headlining it together. And I'm promoting the project with that. And we're starting that at the end of next month.
Kid a stand-up guy, man.
He is.
He is. I think I spoke on a panel in New Orleans with Kid a long time ago. Yeah.
He had hosted one of the playlist parties last year. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like you know, like first of all, it was cold as hell outside. Like, damn, it's like 15 folk in here, bro. But he still showed up.
Yeah.
Did what he said he was gonna do. Kicked it. I'm like, damn, stand up guy.
That's what's up, man. I respect that 100%.
And then I'm gonna go back overseas. So after that, we're gonna do. I think there's 30 dates for that. And then I'm gonna go back overseas.
Look at you getting out there for sure.
Hell yeah, man, you know it.
Is the climate different for artists out there, man? Because like I'm hearing that a lot as far as like independent artists. They might be from a certain city in America, and they might have their fan base in their city that's cool. Certain places in America, but it's like, well, shit, man. I might not have done a show at New York, but I just sold out a show in Belgium. I just sold out a show.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So is it a different climate in Europe?
It is because they still Of course, there's people here that love hip hop. That's why we're sitting here at this table.
No doubt.
But I think overseas is because it's something that's foreign. It's something that started here, So they feel like they get a piece of the of just that realness, just the authentic side. Because of course there's rappers and stuff over there, but they get to see an American hip-hop artists come over there and do their thing. So I think they're a bit more appreciative.
And they seem to be a bit more excited about it too, because every time I meet like a French journalist or an Italian journalist, it's usually for something that's going on here, and it's like I'll be all enthralled and interested. Like, so who's the hottest in Italy? Lil Wayne, Drake, same shit you listening to.
Right.
That's real. And I think the other part is, like you said, it's here we can go see a show damn near every night, depending on what city you're in. There, it's like a big deal,
right?
When a rapper comes. I was in Amsterdam like a few weeks ago, and DJ Mustard just happened to be spinning by our hotel. That joint was wall to wall, and you would have thought he was a rapper. They were cheering like at everything, partying for everything. It was crazy. And Mustard wasn't that hot over the summer this year, but over there he was winning.
My best show, my favorite show out there was at the Moulin Rouge.
Oh,
so
that's
that
crazy.
was hell yeah, and it was packed. I have footage of it online. So like. They were jumping. I had a cold that night. At first I really didn't want to do it. I was feeling bad, and that turned out to be one of my best shows over there for that tour. And like they knew every word, jumping up and down, all that type of stuff. So the love over there is just a different type of love.
Got you. I think it would be super cliche to ask you about like your favorite women rappers. So I'm gonna ask you, who is your top 5 New Orleans rappers of all time, excluding yourself? Because as you said, you was the best before the floods. So go ahead.
That's a good question. No one has ever asked that question.
That's what we do.
I can't put them in order.
That's cool.
But Juvenile would be one. And it's strictly off what I listen to, what I know back to back. So Juvenile, Soulja Slim, Mia X. I would say Mac. A lot of people sleep on Mac.
Too many people sleep on Mac.
A lot of people sleep on Mac. I would put Wayne in there, and but Wayne, I
feel like Wayne, like when people used to be like, well, New York still has rappers with 50 Cent, Jay-Z. It's like, they don't count. They belong to the world.
Yeah, that's why. That's what I'm saying. But you know, he's ours. He's from New Orleans, but that's why I'm trying to think of another name to put in there. But I don't know, man. That's still kind of hard. I would put them up though. I would say.
Okay, no doubt. So you hear, by the time they hear this, A3C will be over. But what are you doing around A3C?
Tomorrow, I am doing a BET stage. Music Matters. It's me, Rick Ross, 21 Savage. I almost said Salvage.
It's really sound like that. No
I'm doing that tomorrow. Doing a bunch of other video. I'm leaving out tomorrow night. Though,
damn, you moving?
So, yeah, and
only got
I'm
one night in
I'm
time?
shooting some videos tomorrow too.
Okay, for sure, most definitely.
Some videos, yeah.
Well, we appreciate you coming through. Please let the people know where they can find you online, and we've already tell them how they can look up the app too.
First of all, you can find my project.
Yes.
On any digital outlet where music is being sold or streamed, but I've also been riding around dropping off projects at people's houses, going to doorsteps, going to jobs, with physical copies of my projects. So grab a physical copy, 3dnot.com, and if I'm in your city and I see that you ordered and I haven't had it mailed off to you yet, I might drop it off to you. So I've been doing that, but you can find me at 3dnot.com, Instagram 3dnot, everything, Twitter, all of that, SoundCloud, everything.
And how do they look up the app on Android and iOS?
The app, you can go to my website and there's a page where you can download it. 3dnot.com, you click on app, and whether you have an Android or an iPhone, you can download it.
What about like Blackberries and stuff like Sidekicks? You ain't got it for I'm just messing with
Nextel.
you. No Nextel.
No track phone.
It doesn't work with the chirp.
No,
it doesn't. None of that. All right. For sure. Yo, we truly appreciate you coming through. We thank you guys for listening. Thank you for supporting everything we do. Having a good time at A3C. Keep an eye out for all the shows that we're doing this week. They'll be coming out on iTunes over the next 2-3 weeks. And you're listening to Day One Radio on ablradio.com. We will see you next week.
Know that.